It started on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon, the kind of day that drifts by without leaving a trace. I was sitting at my desk, sipping cold coffee and ignoring the pile of emails begging for attention. That's when my phone vibrated. It was her. The woman I should have blocked months ago, the woman I tried to forget every night beside my wife. Lena. Lena wasn't just a memory, she was a storm. She blew into my life 2 years ago, at a friend's engagement party, and nothing had been steady since. I was married, happily for the most part, but Lena made me question everything. We never planned to cross the line, but we did. And we kept crossing it, over and over. I opened her message. I need to see you. There's something I want you to do for me. My heart slammed against my ribs. Every time Lena appeared, trouble followed. But I couldn't say no. I told myself this would be the last time. A conversation, closure, that's all. We met at her apartment, the same place where forbidden moments had once unfolded under dim light and trembling hands. She opened the door, barefoot, wearing a loose white shirt that might have belonged to me once upon a time. Her hair was tied up, but a few strands had fallen loose, brushing her collarbone, a sight that had once driven me insane. She didn't greet me with a kiss this time. No smile either. Instead, she walked to the kitchen counter, picked up a glass jar, and placed it between us. It was small, old, and sealed tightly. "I want you to break this," she said, her voice softer than I remembered. I frowned. "What is this?" She looked down, as if afraid of what she was about to admit. "It's everything I wrote about you. Letters I never sent. Things I felt but couldn't say. Memories I was too afraid to let go of." My breath caught in my throat. I hadn't expected this. Lena was wild, impulsive, not the type to sit and write romantic confessions in the middle of the night. But as she stood there, I saw the cracks beneath her bravado. She was trembling. "Why now?" I asked. Her gaze flickered toward the window, where the sky was darkening with the promise of rain. "Because I'm leaving. Tomorrow. New city, new life. No more waiting for your texts. No more being the secret." The words hit me harder than I expected. For years, I had kept her in this strange limbo, never mine fully, but never willing to let her go. She deserved better, and I knew it. I reached for the jar, but my hand paused. "Are you sure you want me to break this?" She stepped closer, her fingers brushing mine. That touch still sparked something inside me, something dangerous, something neither of us could ever fully control. "Break it," she whispered, and read the last letter inside. I lifted the jar, its weight heavier than it should have been. I hesitated for a moment, then smashed it against the edge of the counter. Glass shattered everywhere, reflecting fragments of the life we'd almost had. Among the broken glass was a folded piece of paper, stained slightly from the jar's age. I opened it, heart pounding. "My dearest love, I knew from the first night that you belonged to someone else. I told myself I could handle being second. I thought stolen moments would be enough. But they never were. I loved you too much, too deeply, too recklessly. I dreamt of a life where you'd choose me, where we'd dance barefoot in the kitchen, and laugh at our silly fights. But I can't be your shadow anymore. This is goodbye. I'll always love you, but I need to love myself too. Yours, but no longer. Lena." I stood there, heart aching, throat tight. I wanted to say something, anything, but the words didn't come. Instead, I pulled her into my arms, holding her tighter than I ever had before. Her breath hitched against my chest, but she didn't cry. We both knew this was the end. That night, we didn't make love. We didn't say goodbye with passion and fire. We just lay side by side, hands barely touching, listening to the rain tapping against the window. And in the silence, I realized something heartbreaking. I had loved her too. In a quiet, hidden way, I had loved her all along. But sometimes, love isn't enough. In the morning, she was gone, leaving only the shattered glass and a jar I couldn't fix.